Peggy, and I welcome you to our kitchen. We have some experts here today, and yes, we're going to talk about nutrition and good health and how you can take care of yourself and your family for even maybe less money, but you can have some creative ideas. And we have a crock pot here. And many people are like, I have a crock pot, it sits on the shelf, and I never am quite sure what to put in it. Well, one thing that our guests are going to do is show us how we can make yogurt in the crock pot. And it's probably better for you than the yogurt you buy in the store. I want to welcome Wendy Watkins.
Hello.
And Wendy is the owner of Plate 108, which is located in Greer, South Carolina. She is a registered dietitian. And next to her is Anna Goad. And Anna is a catering chef from Plate 108. And you're the expert on this particular adventure today. I must admit, I've never thought about making yogurt in a crock pot.
Well, there's a lot of ways to make yogurt yourself, and the crock pot has become really popular and easy. And if you're going to do something a little bit crazy, like make your own yogurt, to make it easy is the best way to get it done.
All right, now it is less money.
It is. It's a
if
lot
you make
cheaper
your own.
to make your own yogurt than buying it regularly at the store.
But what is the advantage besides saving money?
Well, yogurt, and then you buy in the store, a lot of it has a lot of fillers. They put gelatin and pectin and things in it to make it congeal and make it the consistency that you're used to.
And make it have shelf life? That's what scares me.
Exactly. And you don't know where those things come from and what they're going to do to your body. We're not used to eating all of that kind of stuff. So this is just the live cultures and milk is the only thing that you're putting in your body when it comes to making your own yogurt. Okay,
so I must say I have never seen a crock pot quite like that. It's very small.
Well, we wanted to use something small because not everybody has the giant crock pot that my mom and my grandma have. And we didn't want you to think that you would have to go out and buy a $60 chicken roaster crock pot. So they sell them in quite a few sizes. And this is perfect for yogurt because the recipe that we have is for half a gallon of milk. So it's going to fit right in the crock pot. But it's also going to be great for doing soups or smaller meals for a smaller family.
All right, now, is this expensive?
No, it actually cost $9 to buy that crock pot.
So it'd make a nice gift for somebody.
It would, a $9 crock pot.
And if somebody out there lives alone, or maybe there's just two people, you don't need the big crock pot.
Nope, you just need something small that you could use for meals for just you guys.
And you mean you could actually make soup in that?
Oh, yeah.
Chicken or anything. But you're going to do yogurt.
But we're going to make yogurt.
And we do have the recipe here. But when she came in here and said, I'm making yogurt, I couldn't believe it. I thought, I've never heard of it, making it in a crock pot.
Well, and to make yogurt, you have to heat very slowly. And instead of standing in front of a stove and doing it over a long period of time, you can do it in a crock pot and set it, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, Anna, so show us what you're going to do here.
Okay, so with our crock pot yogurt, we are going to take some milk, and the less processed milk, the better.
All right, now let's for those of us who are novices, we got to know what are you talking about? Less processed.
A lot of milk is pasteurized, homogenized. They do all kinds of chemical processes and heating processes to get all the stuff out of milk. And yes, there can be some things in milk that aren't that great for us coming from a dairy farm. There can be bacteria, but a lot of the good stuff in milk is also taken out when you do those kinds of processing.
So when you go to the grocery store and you go to buy milk, what do you look for?
I always look for organic. A lot of people like to do raw milk, but in our country, raw milk is not, it's not, I don't want to say it's illegal, but.
So you buy organic milk?
Okay. You're going to buy organic milk.
And will the label say that?
It will. It will say organic right on the front. And this is whole milk. You can use 2% or skim milk if you want, but the whole milk is going to make the yogurt thicker.
Yeah, if you wanted to make a dessert or yogurt or something, you don't want it too runny. You want a little pizzazz in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to use whole milk, and we're just going to take it, and like I said, the recipe takes a half a gallon of milk, so you could buy the half-gallon size. This is the gallon size, so I'm only going to take half of this, and I'm going to put it in our crock pot. Now, we've warmed our crock pot beforehand.
Okay.
So our crock pot is on low.
So you put the crock pot on low before you put anything in it.
You don't want to leave it too long on low, but you just want it to be warm to begin with because it's going to take even more time to heat up once you put the cold milk in.
All right.
So we're going to put our milk in here.
You see, the good cooks don't measure. They just kind of dump stuff in.
Well, it's kind of hard to measure half a gallon other than pouring it in here and letting it go. So we're about halfway on our gallon jug here, which, like I said, fits perfectly in this little baby crock pot.
Or you could just buy a half gallon.
That would probably be the easier way
to
do it.
Guess.
Then you don't have to make any guesses.
All right.
So we're going to leave our crock pot on low for 2 hours and 45 minutes. You're just going to let it sit there, and that's going to bring the milk up to a certain temperature, which is going to get it ready to take the live cultures from the yogurt.
So after 2 hours, well, of course, we're always fighting the clock. So, so you put 2 hours and
45 minutes.
Then what do you do with it?
Well, then you're going to turn your crock pot off, and you're going to let it sit for 3 more hours to cool down. And because
I'm always afraid. I mean, I put the milk in the refrigerator immediately.
Well, because you bring it right up to the higher temperature, you've kind of cooked anything that could turn bad out of the milk. That's how you're able to make yogurt. Because if you were just to leave milk out on the counter, it would probably start to go bad. But because we brought it up to a high temperature and now we're cooling it down, it's not going to go bad.
All right. And now that pretty much filled up the pot. You don't have room to put much else in
Well,
there.
we're only going to put a half a cup of our yogurt starter in there.
Okay, now what is that?
Well, this is, if you don't have yogurt, if you have a friend that makes their own yogurt, you could get some from them. But if you don't, you just have to buy a yogurt at the store that has live cultures. So you just want to make sure on the ingredients, it actually says right here what the ingredients are, and it says live active yogurt cultures on there. Okay. And you don't want anything that just says killed cultures or modified live cultures. It needs to say live active cultures. And you can get that just about anywhere. We got this one at Walmart.
Oh my goodness. So you put a half a cup of that?
After it has cooled down for 3 hours, because if it's too hot, it might kill the beneficial bacteria
just like
that's
when
in the
you make
yogurt.
bread and you have the yeast,
Yeah.
you have the yeast to a certain temperature.
Then after you put the half cup in, then what do you do?
Well, the milk is still going to be a little warmer than room temperature, just because it's been in the crock pot. It's kind of created a little warm place for it to be. So you're going to take a towel or a blanket and you're going to wrap the crock pot up so that the heat doesn't just completely fall out.
And you have turned the crock pot off.
Yes, the crock pot is
so you
off.
don't turn it back on.
No, you just want it to be
and
a
you
little...
put a half a cup of the yogurt in here, and then you wrap it in a towel. Can you imagine people coming into your kitchen and seeing your crock pot? They don't think you've lost your mind.
Let's tell them you're making yogurt.
Okay, and you leave it how long?
You're going to let it sit overnight.
And this has no flavoring in it then?
Actually making the yogurt is just plain. It's just going to taste like a plain yogurt, just like milk.
And actually, you can use plain yogurt for sour cream. Is a way that you can use plain yogurt as opposed to flavored.
All right, now, if you wanted to make this and serve it to children, to your family, most people want a little something in it.
Oh, for sure.
So what do you do?
So the next morning, you're going to unwrap from your towel, and you're going to put your yogurt in whatever container you want it in. Actually, crock pots are great because you can lift this part out and you could just put it in the fridge like that if you wanted to do it that way. But one of the things you could do in mason jars or Tupperware containers, you could portion out a little bit of yogurt into each one, and you could add vanilla extract, you could add honey, you could add fresh fruit. Even jam, if you have like strawberry or raspberry jam, you can make basically any flavor that your husband or your kids like.
And so I'm thinking of what's coming up: strawberries, peaches, all the good things that we have to enjoy. You could cut up fruit in it. Now this would be a great way, if your children don't want to eat fruits and vegetables, this is a great way to get them to enjoy and learn to eat these things.
Not only the calcium that's in with the yogurt. And we're leaving out the best part when Anna talked about the live cultures. There's a lot of talk about probiotics, and probiotics are the actual live cultures, the bacteria, if you will, that live in the yogurt and also live in our intestines.
See, we take all the good stuff that God put in there, we take it out.
Yes, yes. So as she said, not all yogurts have live cultures. So we needed it for this product to make more yogurt, but also our bodies need it to, grow good bacteria in our intestines. So when bad bacteria gets in there, you have a nice farm in your colon.
Okay, now what about diet? People who are trying to lose weight.
Well, there's two ways to look at it. One is a lot of people say that no fat is the way to go. And like I said, you could make it with skim milk or 2% milk. It's just going to not be as thick. It'll be a little runnier. It's still going to taste good. It's still going to be a really beneficial yogurt. But another way to look at it is this is a good fat. We look at good fats versus bad fats. And fat from milk and butter and things from natural sources, it tends to be a good fat for your body. So if you're going to eat fats, this would be a good fat to eat.
All right, so now here, this is the complete direction on how to do this. And it sounds to me like it might be something that you could get your kids involved in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a way to save money and still get the very best nutrition. And we're so happy to share this with you. Homemade yogurt in the crock pot, and there it is. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, if you can. That really helps us. And send it to the Peggy Denny Show, Post Office Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. And please include the number of the recipe, because we have lots of recipes. And if we open up that envelope and there's no number, we don't know what you wanted. And the recipe number is 835. Or you can just click on peggydenny.com, and we'll try to have it posted for you. And we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to find out a lot more things about how to stay healthy